Blessings everyone, this is Chris Kendall from therawadvantage.com, registered holistic nutritionist, raw food lifestyle coach, and raw chef. We're out here at the UK Fruit Festival with Jesse Bogdanovich of The Whole Lifestyle. We're going to go into the topic of, if 80-10-10 is good, is 95-5 better? Let's get into it.
Baby, I like it raw. Raw Advantage likes it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Hey.
Alright guys, so we're at the UK Fruit Festival, amazing raw food festival out here in the UK, of course, with Jesse Bogdanovich of The Whole Lifestyle. And this is an important topic, you think?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. If you don't know what 80-10-10 is, I'll just wrap it up for you real quick. It's a book, firstly, by Dr. Douglas Graham, and it's a calorie-nutrient ratio that is suggesting that for optimal health, we get 80% or more of our total calories from carbohydrate and 10% or less of our total calories from protein and fat. Now, Doug Graham is famous for coining this phrase. Many vegan doctors and studies and stuff have suggested these fat ratios. He just coined the phrase and applied it to a raw food diet. It, of course, also works for a cooked vegan diet or an omnivorous diet. It's just suggesting this as a calorie-nutrient ratio. But some people tend to find, 80-10-10, it works really good, for almost anything and everything. But some people have suggested that, going lower than that and excluding all fat, going down to 95-5, just fruits and vegetables, no fat included, is better. We've seen this, we've seen people do this, we've tried this ourselves. What do you think, Jesse?
I think if you're doing like a cleanse or like a protocol because you have like some liver problems or skin issues or something's going on, yes, you can do this for like a month or two at the most, or do it for a month and then go back and then like a month later or something. But other than that, I don't really see it helpful. Actually, I see it potentially problematic because a lot of people go so low fat that they have all kinds of other issues, like their liver gallbladder function is not working properly because it's not producing bile, and the fat soluble vitamins in the greens and the veggies, if you don't mix a little bit of fat in there, that doesn't work optimally. So I think it's really, really important to not go too low in fat, but like around 10% is good, maybe a little bit more depending if it's the winter time.
Having maybe a bigger fluctuation zone, say between 7-15, maybe a little bit higher into the teens on occasion as well. But
absolutely.
Not strictly rigid, nor saying, well, it's better. I know even Doug, he doesn't say 95-5 is better.
Right.
He has it as 80-10-10, for a reason, with a little bit of fluctuation there. 10% generally being the maximum, but I know sometimes there's a little fluctuation there, even from his protocol. And then in our own lives and what we've seen even maybe a little bit wider fluctuation too, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
and it also depends where you are. I mean, if you're in like the winter time and you're in the north or far south and it's really, really cold, if you increase even like up to 20% fat, you'll notice that you'll be warmer and you'll have less cravings for cooked food in the wintertime. See, and everyone's different too. Like one person might say, yeah, that 20% works. Another person might say, oh my gosh, I can't go above 10%. So everyone's different, so we have to watch out.
Absolutely, yeah. You might have a specific condition or might be trying to correct candida or something like that, and the yeast problem maybe, that keeping it lower fat for a period of time or going into the lower ones without the overt fats can be very helpful for a period of time. But in the long term, we've both seen some poor effects. I've seen like bad skin, dry skin, bad hair, stuff like that, keeping it too low all the time. A reason why I have gone lower fat at certain times is like if I'm being extremely athletic and I just want to be going like an Energizer bunny, sometimes I'll go lower, but then invariably afterwards, you want to build back up and be focusing on a little bit more fats as well.
Absolutely.
I've also noticed too with super low fat that it's easier for people to get calories if they add in a little bit of fat, and that's the main reason for people falling off a diet, right? Not getting enough calories.
Absolutely, not enough calories. It's just like, and also, you're so right. But I mean, like when people get on the raw food diet at first and they're going like so low calorie, or their stomach is getting used to bigger volumes and just overall getting used to it, because if we were on a meat-based diet and all that, the meat is such a small little piece and it's so loaded with calories that when someone goes on a raw vegan diet and they have this huge salad and then they decide to make like a yummy mango dressing and tomato, which is yummy,
So
we both
good,
love,
yeah.
but then they don't have any fat on there, it's
Yeah.
really hard to get enough calories in. The person's going to feel always hungry, so then they're going to have a tendency to want to go back to meat or get off the diet or something, which is sad.
Absolutely. And while the answer may not be to add 4 avocados, it may be to, recognize, adding more fruit in and getting more carbohydrate as part of the answer, and then having a little bit of fat in there as well to build up that satiation, that can really help.
Exactly. And also we got to remember the fat soluble vitamins in the dark leafy greens and in the carrots and veggies. That's all important, and with that fat in there, when you mix it in on and make a dressing out of avocado and some chia seeds or something to balance the omegas, then all those fat soluble vitamins come out of the dark leafy greens, the spinach, the carrots, the veggies, and we absorb them better, and then we get that nutrients in.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that's kind of really interesting you made me think about is, the temperate fruits that a lot of people eat, or even the subtropical fruits that a lot of people eat, are typically lower in fat than the tropical fruits.
Yeah.
So if you're out in the tropics and you're eating a lot of tropical high quality fruit, you're actually eating a little higher levels of fat, and you're probably not going to be at 95.5. You might be like 6 to 7, maybe even 8% fat, and higher if you include some stuff like durian, right? But if we're in places where we're eating some, temperate and subtropical and tropical, it can be really beneficial to get in some, flax and chia and hemp seeds, and even a wide variety, some walnuts and, pumpkin seeds, whatever it may be, to get all the different types of fat and all the different nutrients and minerals that are super abundant in these nuts and seeds that may or may not be as abundant in the specific produce you're eating.
Yeah, that's right. And to have a whole variety of different nuts and seeds is the key. And if you have digestive issues, stick with the seeds. But here's the thing, I have many clients who can't even handle seeds. And the first tip I have to say is make sure you're getting them from a high quality, like a raw vegan store, someone who's like raw vegan who has this store, because they're going to be sourcing out the best nuts and seeds. I mean, if you go to a supermarket, 98% of nuts and seeds in the supermarket are flash pasteurized, or they're rancid, or they've been sitting there too long. So you got to make sure you source high quality, and then when you do get these nuts and seeds, make sure you freaking soak them.
Yeah.
You got to soak your nuts.
Yeah, soak those nuts, guys.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's also good to point out, because a lot of people may not be able to find a store that has a raw vegan, like that is owned by raw vegan. So a good point too there maybe be to get seeds and nuts that are in refrigeration, out of the light, and sealed. Like if it's in room temperature and it's not sealed and the air and the light is getting it, there's way more chance it's going to be rancid. And you can always do the sprouting test too, right?
Yes,
you can always.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
So like with your big nuts, like walnuts and almonds.
With your big nuts.
We get them in the shell, and they're so fresh and amazing in the shell. You almost don't have to soak them, but I still recommend soaking them, and you will see. So if you have severe digestive issues, then you want to soak your nuts for 48 hours at least. And I find that people who can't handle them, they soak them for 48 hours, and you have small amounts at first, maybe even 4 or 5.
Discard that soak water too, right?
Yeah, discard that soaked water, but you have 4 or 5 of those, and you blend them up into a dressing, and it'll go down smooth for like most of the time. It'll go down smooth. But if you have like 2 big handfuls of walnuts or almonds or some kind of nut, this is not going to go down well, because it's way too much fat. This is like going
get gut rot and feel crappy, and then you have a harder time with the fruit. And one benefit that is from eating low fat on times and experimenting with it, right, on the short term, we're not saying it's bad and you should never go that low, but is that you really come into touch with how much volume you need to really be satiated from fruit. So then that puts you in touch with, okay, well, I can back off that a little bit and add some seeds and find it a little bit easier rather than eating this much every single time, right? Which can be pretty darn good too. Awesome. Well, I think this is a great topic, and I think an important one, because again, sometimes people just think like, well, fruitarian and just fruit, and not eating any seeds or nuts, they're not meant to be eaten or anything like that. But experience shows, when we look at long-termers, and I mean, you've been doing this for a long time, Jesse. Tell us a little bit about your story here.
Yeah. I just want to say one thing about nuts and seeds too, is I find a lot of guys who come to tell me they do like super low fat, and next they lose their libido, their like hair's falling out, their skin is like super dry, nails are getting a bit brittle, And this is just like a sign. As soon as they start increasing a little bit of fats, all these problems just go away.
Absolutely.
So it's nice. I mean, I've been doing this 21 years. I have no libido problems.
Yeah.
I have absolutely nothing. I mean,
Soak your nuts.
Yeah, soak your nuts.
Well, it makes a big difference. And I mean, essential fats and fats are very important for hormonal function, you know, and to get all that dense mineralization. And you don't want to be at such a low body fat that you're not able to produce your hormones correctly, right? And when people omit nuts and seeds from their lifestyle and diet, again, they typically have a harder time getting enough calories, especially in the beginning. You know, if you've been doing this longer term, then you know yourself even better, and you may be able to do it for a little bit longer period of time if you're eating lots of greens with your fruits. But then you're still going to likely be upping the fat content, because, you know, if you're really trying to get down 95.5, you actually got to be careful with how much greens and vegetables you're eating, right? You almost got to just eat fruit, because most vegetables are pretty high in protein and fat.
That's right. That's right. So this is like dangerous. I really don't recommend that. Only for like short periods of times for a specific cleanse, if an expert tells you to go that way. Otherwise, too much experimenting on our own sometimes leads into big problems. I mean, I can't tell you how many men and women are so underweight and have all these hormonal issues because they're just like so scared of fat, or they get a little bit of bloating because of, here's a big one, they're mixing their fruits and their fats together, and this is like a no-no. I have so many people making smoothies in the morning and they add like chia seeds and flax seeds, and then they get these huge bloated stomachs, and their skin breaks out and they just feel really moody and have all these issues. So please, fruit and fat separate as much as possible.
And like date nut balls and stuff like that.
Or those well, I mean, this goes into gourmet stuff, but I mean like those pies and cakes that are like based from dates and nuts crust, and then all this fruit on there, and then they sprinkle hemp or something on top. It's just too much fat, and also mixing the fat and fruit together. It's just no, it's not good.
Well, thanks so much, Jesse. Really appreciate you on the channel. And if you haven't seen the other video I did with Jesse about his raw transformation and his whole healing story, I'll link that down below, maybe up here as well. And you know, is there anything you want to leave everyone with before we go?
Yeah, just to keep moving forward, find community, and just keep being happy and become the best version of yourself. And please get in those greens. So many people are missing the greens.
Absolutely. Awesome. So where can we find you?
TheWholeLifestyle.com, Jesse Bogdanovich on Facebook, The Whole Lifestyle on Instagram, TheWholeLifestyle.com on YouTube. And yeah, I'm going to interview Chris next. So check out my YouTube channel and stay in touch. And if you guys have any health issues or you want some deep help, please hit me up. I've been doing this 21 years and helping people for over 15 years, and I want to help you find your balance and your happiness in this lifestyle so you can be healthy and happy.
Awesome.
Peace.
Love it. Love you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Catch you guys next time. As always, wishing you much. Peace, love, and seasonal fruit.
Jesse Bogdanovich, The Whole Lifestyle. You gotta soak those nuts!
Ooh, don't forget to check out my raw recipes playlist in the top left, the video just for you in the top right, subscribe for more videos in the bottom right, and get your 3 free ebooks in the bottom left. Grab your free raw recipe app, available on iPhone and Android, with over 100 free raw recipes, common fruit and vegetable calorie breakdown, frickin' raw, some food combining chart, shopping cart function, and so much more.